Good evening. We're back tonight on the Lore Masters channel, and he wanted to bring a Father's Day special, and it will be about the Rugrats all grown up. So I hope you'll like it and subscribe, pass it on to your friends, and we're going to get started. So first I want to set a little synopsis so kind of get you into the mood, and then we'll have the story. Tommy, now a passionate filmmaker, decides to create a short film for Father's Day honoring his family's history. He interviews his Grandpa Boris, uncovering a deeply personal and harrowing story of Boris and his wife, Minka, escaping Nazi Germany during World War II. The episode alternates between the present-day filmmaking process and flashbacks depicting young Boris and Minka's journey to freedom. The Pickles family gathers to celebrate Father's Day, and Tommy decides to honor Grandpa Boris by creating a short film about his life. At first, Boris is reluctant to share painful memories, but Tommy's persistence and sincerity convince him to open up. Tommy says excitedly, "Grandpa, your story is amazing. People need to know what you and Grandma went through to build the life we have now." Boris says hesitantly, "It's not an easy story to tell, Tommy, but maybe it's time." As Boris narrates, the episode transitions to sepia-tone flashbacks of his younger self in 1930s Germany. He and Minka live in fear as anti-Semitic policies intensify. Boris, a skilled craftsman, uses his talents to barter for documents and passage out of the country. Young Boris says to Minka, "We will get out of here, I promise you, Minka. We'll find a place where they can't hurt us anymore." The flashbacks depict their dangerous journey, hiding in safe houses, narrowly escaping capture, and enduring the uncertainty of waiting for a ship to take them to America. Along the way, they encounter allies who help them, as well as moments of heartbreak when others are left behind. Young Minka says, "What if we don't make it, Boris?" But young Boris is sure they're going to be okay. "We will, for our future, for the family we'll have one day." The flashback concludes with Boris and Minka arriving in New York Harbor, seeing the Statue of Liberty for the first time. The moment is filled with hope and relief, symbolizing their new beginning. Young Boris says, "We're free, Minka. This is where our story starts anew." In the present, Tommy's film is complete. The family gathers to watch it together, and the emotions run high. The film captures the courage and resilience of Boris and Minka, and Tommy's storytelling inspires everyone to appreciate their family history. Dee Dee says, teary-eyed, "Dad, I never knew all of this. Thank you for sharing it with us." Boris, smiling, says, "I lived it so you wouldn't have to. That's the greatest gift I could give." The episode ends with Grandpa Boris holding a photo of young Boris and Minka, reflecting on how far they've come. Tommy, sitting beside him, promises to share their story with future generations. Tommy says, "Your story isn't just history, Grandpa. It's who we are." And Boris says, "And that, Tommy, makes it all worth it." Then we want to add to the story while the family is all together, a very special surprise. So here's a second part. After the family watches Tommy's film and shares an emotional moment reflecting on Boris and Minka's courage, a knock echoes from the front door. The family exchanges curious glances. Angelica, who has been quietly moved by the film, despite trying to act aloof, volunteers to answer it. Angelica says, joking nervously, "Relax, it's probably just the neighbors coming to borrow sugar. Again." When she opens the door, everyone falls silent. Standing there is an elderly man, frail but with a warm, kind smile. He carries a small, worn suitcase and looks at Boris with tears welling up in his eyes. "Boris, Minka, I heard about the film. I thought it was time to visit." Boris freezes, his hand trembling as he places it on his cane. Slowly, recognition washes over his face, and his eyes fill with emotion. Boris's voice breaks. "Is it Eli?" The man nods. The room erupts into murmurs of shock and awe as Boris and Eli embrace tightly, tears streaming down their faces. Boris, whispering, says, "I thought I'd never see you again." Eli says, "You survived. That's all I ever prayed for." As they sit together in the living room, Eli shares his side of the story. He was part of the underground network that helped Boris and Minka escape during the Holocaust, risking his own life in the process. The family listens in awe, learning how Eli forged documents, provided food, and arranged safe passage. Eli says to the family, "Your grandparents were brave. They trusted me with their lives. And seeing all of you here today, it was worth it." Even Angelica, who is usually self-centered, is visibly moved. She sits next to Eli, uncharacteristically quiet. Angelica says, "You're like a real-life hero." Eli, smiling, replies, "Heroes are just people who don't give up, Angelica." The episode ends with a family dinner where Boris raises a toast. "To those who came before us, to those who helped us, and to those who will carry our stories forward. La chime!" Tommy, inspired by Eli's story, vows to create a follow-up film, ensuring the unsung heroes of history are never forgotten. The camera pans out as the family laughs, eats, and bonds, showing that the sacrifices of the past have paved the way for the love and unity they share today. Well, wasn't that a wonderful Father's Day story? And we hoped you like it. Please share it with your friends and tell them to watch, and let the Lore Master know how much you enjoy his stories. Catch you later. Good night, and happy Father's Day.